What if all the ways that you thought that you were losing and failing were actually cultivating energy that you could channel in order to manifest and attract what you want? Sounds crazy, but it's shocking to consider. But I want to share with you how all of the ways that you think you might have messed up or not gotten what you want, how you can channel that energy to attract what you want a lot easier than you're currently thinking. This is Jake Ducey with JakeDucey.com, and let's dive right into this video. Alright, so you gotta understand that there's no good or bad energy really. Energy is just energy, and then it's our perception of that energy that molds that energy into a certain reality that we experience. Energy isn't good or bad. Similarly, there's no such color as blue or yellow in the universe. There's just one form of light that manifests in different vibrations here in reality that our senses perceive as different colors. So what happens is we start to think that certain things are obstacles for us to get what we want. Certain energies or circumstances are blocking us. So when I wanted to do what I'm doing today, my dream was that I wanted to be inspiring millions of people, and I wanted to be writing books and online courses and have this YouTube channel and all of these things. And it was really tough going to get started. I wasn't making any money, and my life partner was in debt because I couldn't help financially, and I wasn't making any progress for like a while. I was selling my self-published book after every single publisher denied me. I got denied by so many publishers time after time, so many agents time after time. I was selling my books at farmers markets next to the people selling kale. I was selling my book into the wind next to it. And then I'd go to like coffee shops where there was like musicians doing open mics singing, and then I'd hop on and then I'd do a motivational speech right next to it. No one was listening to me. I drove sometimes an hour and a half, 2 hours to places, and one person would go. I remember I was on tour up in Portland, Oregon from San Diego. I drove up to Portland, and I had done a little talk to a youth group to like 5 people, free. And then I drove 2.5 hours to a small coffee shop. And I was supposed to be running a workshop at the coffee shop. Guess what? Nobody came. Not a single person. I waited for 45 minutes after the start date. Nobody came, so I left. And you may think that that actually was a thing that could stop me. No. Energy is never created or destroyed. All the energy that ever was and ever will be already exists. It's already evenly present at all places at all time. There's no more energy to be built. It's just manifesting into different forms. Similarly, so there's no good or bad. And so every time I was failing, every time I was getting told no, I was actually building the energy for me to manifest what I want, because there's no such thing as good or bad. It wasn't even good or bad that nobody was coming to my events. It's not good or bad when a bunch of people watch one of my videos, as opposed to old videos from a year ago where 100 people were watching it. It doesn't matter. There's no such thing as good or bad. And there's no such thing as energy being created or destroyed. There's just energy being directed towards what you want, and energy being directed towards what you don't want. And if you direct your energy long enough towards what you don't want, then you will create more and more obstacles and failure for yourself until it gets too unbearable and you perhaps quit. On whatever it is, whether it is you're trying to attract a beautiful romantic relationship, or a new job, or a new house, or a new car, or start your dream business, it doesn't matter. So what happens is everything is really two things. It's the presence of it or the absence of it in your life. And you're the one that defines and decides using your subjective mind. Your subjective mind is the ability that you have to think whatever you want to think. It's your ability to do that that defines the reality that you will experience. Now what happens is most people don't get what they want long enough. When working on manifesting, but Jake, I still got $12 in my bank account. I overdrafted 4 times. I'm still in debt. This stuff isn't working. You know, things aren't happening as fast as I want. I haven't met my soulmate yet. I'm still struggling with this health issue. I haven't attracted this partnership and this business opportunity yet, and I'm still having trouble with these customers. No, that's not the way to look at it. Every time I would leave these events, no one would be there and I would feel so accomplished. You know why? Because I was living into my reality. Now there's a time lapse for third dimensional reality to catch up with my mind, so I'm like, oh yeah, I'm already living it in my mind. I'm already this big speaker and I'm already inspiring all these people and I'm already able to live in the house that I want and support myself from this passion. I'm inspiring all these people. Reality hasn't caught up yet. So right now I'm gonna go talk at this open mic and no one's gonna listen to me, but that's just gonna prepare for me when I'm getting 10,000 views every single day on YouTube, when I publish every single day of the week and I have 10,000 views in 12 hours. So that when nobody's there, it's just preparing me. I was in the reality of what I want already existed, even though my eyes wanted to tell me that it didn't exist. So what I was doing was affirming to my consciousness that what I want was already there, because energy is never created or destroyed, and there's no such thing as good or bad. There's infinite energy, and you decide how you mold that energy. And how you mold that energy dictates the future you create for yourself. So all of your failures, all of your challenges, if you can actually not look at that like a failure, if you can actually not look at that like a challenge, if you can actually not look at that like, oh, it's been 6 months and more money hasn't shown up and I still haven't met my soulmate and does any of this work? If you can look at that like, all you're doing every time you keep getting up off the ground, every time you keep showing up, every time you keep working towards it, every time you do that, if you can start to look at that, like actually what you're doing is just making another investment. It's just like if you're investing in an index fund, like in the S&P 500, which is covering the top 500 companies in the US stock exchange. You know, it's a smaller return on investment historically than, you know, trying to take a gamble on one individual stock that you hope goes up 50% in a year or for 5 or 10 years in a row because they have a new product. The stock market historically is going to give you about an 8% return. So it takes a while to get the compound interest to really get a tangible ROI. It's small and consistent investment over and over. And then that investment builds and you get a compound interest, you get a compound return on that. Well, it's the same way with you manifesting what you wanted. I kept showing up and I'm like, hey, I just did another talk. I'm that much closer. Man, I'm going to be an absolutely amazing speaker here pretty soon. Man, all of these talks when no one's listening and I got to figure out how to get people's attentions. Man, this is going to make me so good. This is going to be so awesome when I'm really big. This is going to be so awesome when I'm really making it really happen. And that's the way you have to look at it. So take the opportunity to see your challenges and your failures and when the law of attraction isn't working. See if you can see it how it actually is working, and every time you keep showing up and you don't give up and you don't quit, really what you're doing is you're putting more energy into your desire, and then eventually you just break out the other side. And that's what happened to me. It went from all of these little things to boom, it just breaks out, and all of a sudden in 1 month I got 50,000 YouTube subscribers. I had 5,000 over a 3-year span, and then I got 50,000 in 1 month. I got like 3 or 4 million YouTube videos in 1 month, views in 1 month. Everything took off, and then in 1 month I made more money than I had made the entire previous year, and then it just took off because I kept putting my energy. I kept saying, man, another time, wow, that didn't work either. Oh man, nobody showed up. Another video with 100 views. It must mean I'm getting really close to a video finally taking off. And I was using my subjective control to view it as this friendly universe that was one step closer for me to manifest what I want. So I hope this video inspires you and speaks to you. The one thing that you always have control over is how you view situations. And how you view situations is ultimately the reality you're going to experience into your future. There's no good or bad. There's no failure. Every time you keep showing up, you're laying another brick for you to build your amazing life. So have a beautiful day. If you have trouble with that, download my free success hypnosis, jakeshypnosis.com, right there down below, to train your subconscious mind for success and abundance. If you're having any difficulty at all, it's just subconscious. Rewire your subconscious mind, your belief systems, and your thought patterns. jakeshypnosis.com, right there down below. Then hit the subscribe button and the bell notification. It's right over there. Subscribe and bell notification. The bell notification is what notifies you for new videos. So make sure that you hit that. Hit the like button, and then be sure that you comment down below, best life ever, hashtag best life ever, hashtag best life ever. Have a beautiful day. I'll see you on the next video.